The Zoom is a little bit harder to do reviews with a live than it is outside of the live. I about just dropped you. Trying to get it set up right. We'll see if this is all right. So I'm gonna kind of go, let's see, skip. What's up, everybody? I got home from my Thanksgiving festivities, so I figure there won't be very many people on here. I know a lot of people are probably with their families, but I thought there might be some people who are kind of done for the day or don't have anybody to celebrate with or whatever. And I was going to come out here and film a review so I could put it out tomorrow. And I thought I'm just going to go live and do a review. So that's what I'm going to plan to do. You guys can let me know that you hear me real fast. I'm going to have you guys going on over here so I can see questions. But I'm probably going to go through everything, the points that I want to make with it, all those kinds of things like that. And then I'll look and see if we got some questions. That way, if somebody's coming here just to watch this live review, you'll get all this information, and then I'll chat after. And that way you're not like kind of going through some different things, listening to chats and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to watch the chat and make sure you guys can hear me though before I get started. I've got the green dot on my microphone, I think. Actually, I think my microphone was out. So let's make sure. See if you guys can hear me now. I'm glad I checked my mic. I think my mic got knocked out whenever I was moving my camera a minute ago. I'm not seeing anything yet. Not seeing anything yet. All right, we're good. I just heard myself. So this is the Klein KNECT 3/8 drive set mod box, part number 652121IMPCT. So this runs you $99. It's a metric and SAE set. There's all the sizes. I'm going to get them out and show them to you here in a minute. I always leave everything in the package first. So in a sense, if you've got this set right here, you don't need it, but then it's also something that you might want. And Klein did send me this, so I did mark this pay promotion, but as always, they just send me stuff. I'm not being paid by them, and they don't even require me to make a video. They just want me to test it out and give them my feedback. So this one is a 3/8, basically deep well socket set, has metric, has SAE. Let's see where the back side is. You got some color coding. It works with your KNECT ratchets and all your adapters and stuff, but you can also use it with 3/8 drive, just regular ratchets and stuff as well. And of course, it's going to be mod box, made in Taiwan. So that's it in the package. I don't know if there's anything else. 23-piece set, all those kinds of things. We'll get it out of the package and check it out. So there'll be no editing in this review. So there'll be some little time frames where you have to wait a little bit longer to get stuff. This is one of the bigger mod boxes. I don't think I've got any other ones that are this big. Oh, okay. My chat wasn't scrolling. That's why. What's up, Clicky Tech? Breaking free RVs in here. I was wondering why I wasn't getting any messages because I knew some of you were in here. So sorry about that if I missed some messages. What's up? Clint Cole's in here too. I saw TPG said that he was going to be eating. I figured that's going to be a case with a lot of people. So again, definitely the biggest of the kind of mod box cases, but they still work the same. You still have the tab here where you can go in here and lock. Like this is my next biggest set, I think, right here. Your feet go inside of that. So that's really who this is for, is somebody who's in this mod box stuff. But then also at the same time, it's definitely a smaller case. Like I've got the Milwaukee set, and this comes in about the same price. So it's a good deal on these too. And you're going to get the shallow and the deeps and all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely a much bigger box, and it's also not going to connect with your other stuff. So this is for a purpose of being in a mod box set, you know, that it comes in at $99. I think on Amazon, I put links in the shop button. I put links for Amazon in the description. I think on Amazon, there is a $10 off coupon right now. So you can actually get it for like $89. So this one opens up on the side, but it's the same as these, where it automatically latches shut, and you know, you don't have to actually do anything to lock it. Same kind of thing here, except for you do have to open up both sides, but it does latch automatically. And because this one's such a bigger case, it does have a handle on it, you know, as well. But inside of it, you're going to have the sockets. I definitely like the ink filled and the color coding. You know, when you compare that to, say, these other sockets over here, I mean, that is just way easier. That's the same thing I say about all my Milwaukee sockets. I mean, which one of those two is definitely the easiest one to see is for sure that one. I think all sockets should have this right here. I mean, I absolutely love it on my Milwaukee one. So really like that. So there's your sizes in metric: 8, 10, 11, 12. So you're missing a 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So really 9 is the only skip, if you want to call it that. And then you have 5/16, 3/8. So there's no 1/4 inch, but there's 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, 3/4, 13/16. So pretty good a range of sizes. There's no 11/32 in here. You know, sometimes people want that. And then you get these extensions. So this one here obviously is going to go in your impact so that you can use your sockets in your impact if you want to. And then you have these extensions here that will work multitude of ways. So if you have these KNECT sets right here, it's got that 12-point deal in there, the KNECT M basically. You can use your extensions, then use these sockets with your KNECT ratchets, or all these still have just your standard 3/8 drive right there. So you can put that on a Craftsman ratchet if you've got one or whatever. I don't think I actually have one up here with me. Let me see. Yeah, those are, yeah, right here's one. Yeah. So there's a Craftsman 3/8. So I could put that on a flex head ratchet if I've got one somewhere, because again, that's not something Klein really offers yet in this. And then use it with a flex head ratchet and use these sockets with that also. So the one thing that I'd say is most people would probably think, because it's kind of what I thought originally, and that's why I still feel like this KNECT Complete set is the best set for the space that it takes up, for the amount that you can do with it, because you're getting the screwdriver handle. This is the 65-400 KNECT. You're getting that, so you've got a screwdriver option, you've got an impact option. You can also use all these as a shallow socket because you don't have that with this. It's also a pass-through socket. You can put it in this if you want to use it as a deep well for whatever reason. Sometimes maybe if you want to be on something and be able to move up and down something a little bit easier. I don't know that you probably necessarily even really need to use this that much. But the one thing that comes into play with these, and maybe this would be the set, because you've got a shallow socket with all these. The only reason why you would want one of these, because you might say, I don't need a deep well, because these will go down just about anything. They're a pass through. But like if you look at this number 8, because it has to connect with all the KNECT M stuff with this bigger end, that means for me to go somewhere, deep with that, I'm going to end up bottoming out sometimes, where this is going to be too thick maybe to fit into the spot, where with an 8mm socket, I've got this much of this size before I get into a thicker size at the bottom. So it's a little bit, if you're going into a tighter spot or a deep hole or something like that, you may not be able to get to it with one of these. So it's kind of one of those supplemental sets, I guess, in my opinion. So definitely not everybody would need this if you own this, or maybe you never use pass through. I know I never really typically use like shallow sockets in my work, but I'm usually out in the open whenever I'm using stuff like installing TVs or whatever. And I always just grab deep well sockets, because then I know I'm kind of covered both ways. But this set right here has actually been really good for me for that. But yeah, for $89 right now, I think it is on Amazon, there's a $10 coupon. Basically, you're getting a metric and a SAE socket set, ink filled. Really love that. Color coded, absolutely love that. And then it's in the, again, I think the big selling point would be if you're in Modbox. If you're not in Modbox, you can go get some other sets for in that same price range. But if you want a system where I can now, you know, connect this, I don't have that in, and then I also have this set. I've got that adapter I keep in there all the time. And, you know, lock all this together, store it in my truck that way, carry in the whole thing. Then I know I'm covered. I think that's kind of who it's for. So let me go ahead and check the chat real fast. Klein's been killing it lately. It's a nice set. I was just looking at the Klein patchwork blanket that's on sale. I haven't seen that. Where's it on sale at? Breaking Free. I got the ratcheting wrench sets. Yeah. Yeah, I have I saw that you had those. You sent me a picture. So Clint was talking about he picked up a set of these. They were on sale recently, but also the open end and then also the ratchet end of their wrenches. I've got a set of those too in metric and SAE. Those are on sale at Lowe's also. So I'm gonna stay in this mode for a little while. If you guys got any questions about this set in particular, you can holler at me, and then we'll swap over to the chat mode. But yeah, you're getting a, let me see what these extensions are. I'm sure that looks like a 6-inch and a 4-inch, but let me get a tape measure just to be sure. And again, it's a little bit harder to do a live review because you don't have as much play with the, yeah, so 6-inch extension. And again, this works with the KNECT. I actually had a question about the adapter sets on the adapter set video the other day because they were wanting a adapter to go from a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 ratchet to their standard flip sockets. And all you can see in the pictures is this. So you assume I have to have the Klein ratchets, but all these work with standard 3/8, 1/4 inch. Like if you get adapters that have this, they've usually always got the standard end in them. So you can run them in a pass-through ratchet or you can run them on a regular ratchet. Again, like the Craftsman one here, you know, I can do that, put my flip sockets on that. Most of the adapters that look like this, you can put them in the pass-through socket or pass-through ratchets, but you can also put them on your standard ratchets and stuff as well. So that one was a 6-inch, and this one looks like a 4. No, a 3-inch. And then again, you get the adapter that goes with your impact as well. I wanted this set because I have that Milwaukee 3/8 set, but I'm actually going to take those impact sockets out of the Milwaukee one and put them in my 5-drawer cart in my garage. And this one's now going to become my truck set because it's much smaller of a set. And I like I said, I never use the shallow sockets in my Milwaukee one. I always end up just grabbing the deep ones because, again, I usually use this hanging TVs, lagging other stuff up on the walls, whatever it is, that kind of stuff. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not trying to fit into a tight space. So typically, if I have the choice of I can carry deep well or shallow, I just go ahead and carry deep. I keep getting a welcome to the live chat thing pop up, but then anybody in here? I don't see my chat refreshing, or nobody said anything for a while anyways. Wonder if I close this and open it back up. I'm gonna try resetting this. I haven't seen my chat move. I got a new iPad. It's not new, but it's a new one to me, with more storage for whenever I edit videos. Yeah, see, here's a big bunch of stuff. So it wasn't updating for some reason. Let me go back up and check this. I got the ratcheting wrench sets, blanket. Love the KNECT, fixed it, Jimmy says. Just bought the Milwaukee Impact socket set in metric and SAE. Yeah, it's on sale for $99 right now. That's a very good price for that one too. That's why I said this is the same price. Now you can save $10 right now, but it's more if you're in this system and you want your stuff to click together. And again, I think if you have this set, this is there's no need for the shallow socket. So that's just going to take up more room of storage because you basically have that here. So I think it's a good add for this. Again, you can get away with not having deep sockets most of the time. The only time it comes into play is on these smaller ones. It's sometimes going to be hard for you in the instance where you need to get in somewhere, even though it's passed through. Maybe you can't get into where that 8mm nut or bolt is because you don't have enough depth right here at that skinny of a point before you get into this thicker stuff. Very rare that that's happened to me, but it is something that might happen. That's why I feel like this one is a good, off to the side set to go along with this one. Before these ever came out, I bought the Husky 3/8 set and the Husky pass-through set. I want the Klein set, but I don't need it. Yeah, that's the same way I was about this. Again, I've always had the Milwaukee set in my truck in the back. This is definitely ton smaller case, and I wanted a 3/8 impact set to keep here in my garage. So essentially I'm going to transition this one over to my truck and keep the Milwaukee ones here in my garage. Is Acme having any good sales? I haven't seen anything, but they did send me a code in the mail. But I'm sure if you get Acme emails, you've probably seen it too. What's up, Lieutenant Colombo? Lieutenant Colombo lives. You've added some stuff to your name. Used to just be Lieutenant Colombo, I think. Observation. It looks like the KNECT kit is missing a 16mm. Now it's got this one's got the 16. Now this set here is missing a 16. This one goes from 15 to 17. This one here does. This one actually might have more skips than this one because you got 8. So you're still missing the 9. You've got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, skip 16 and 17. So you're getting a 16 and a 19 in this set. That's not in this one here. And then you're also getting a 13/16. And let's see what else we got in this one. 9, half, 7. And then you're also going to get this. This is a 1/4 inch that's in this set. You don't get a 1/4 inch in this one. Now this 1/4 inch is not pass through. It's a magnetic. So you can put a bit in there if you want to, one of these bits. So you are getting a 1/4 inch in this set. You're getting a 16, 19, and a 13/16 in this set. Where you get the Lodge pan. I got that off of Klein Tools. Where'd you see that at? I got it out here somewhere. KleinToolsProGear.com. I put a link for it in that video. I don't know what I did with it. It was sitting out here. I think, I know where it is. It's in my seat back there. I'll show it to you whenever let me check them. I'm going to check these chat real fast, make sure I don't have any other questions about this, and I'll change the camera. Sending my buddy over to you right now. About to get you another subscriber at Fix It Jimmy. I actually use this set on my brakes, 13mm. There's where I was. Raise your hand if you're stuffed full of Thanksgiving food. Miss Maintenance asked, how much is that set? So this set comes in at $99 regular price. That's what it's on Lowe's. Now, if you go in the shop button, Lowe's has this grouped with 2 other KNECT sets as far as in the shop button. So when you click on it, I don't think it takes you to this one. It's like kind of like whenever you go to Amazon, it's got multiple options for under one listing. That's how that one's set up. So be careful if you hit that. Now, Amazon's link in my description, it's actually cheaper. It's $89 on Amazon, or it said it's $10 off for something. I didn't look and see what that was. So I think it's cheaper on Amazon right now than it is. Is it available in Canada? I'm not real sure. I guess maybe if it's available on Amazon, you can possibly get it. I don't know what all options you have for shopping in Canada. What's up, Douglas Milan? Thanks, Breaking Free Canada. 13/16 is weird with like 1 inch, but I guess, yeah, I'm sure that it got into a 1 inch probably would not fit in here. While it's probably even more so a lot of clearance. If you would have went with 1 inch, it would have been thicker this way, and it would have made the whole entire set had to be like this. Glass would have had to been taller. The plastic, not glass, but the plastic. Happy Black Friday Eve. I want the Vito tote bag. Let's see. All right. I'm caught up to the chat, and I think if you all have questions, I'll just grab them and talk about them. I'm going to change the camera real fast. See if I can get back here. And I'm going to warn you, I've got shorts on. I don't feel like I got all my lights on or something either. I don't know. It seems like the zoom is different even tonight than what it normally is. Oh, so Breaking Free asked about the Lodge pan. So this is a Lodge pan, like the brand cast iron Lodge. You've seen them. That's what the main brand is that they sell at stores, and it's got a Klein logo on it. I bought it off. They've got them on eBay for like $180, but I got it off of Klein Tools Pro Gear or Klein Tools Gear. I put a link. I can't remember exactly what the website is, but you have to order. It was only $40 on there, but you have to order $100 minimum. But again, it was $175 on eBay. So still came out ahead because I bought that. I got 2 of these mugs that I bought, and then a logo that's in my sticker drawer. This like logo right here, and then I think that was it. Behind the scenes action. Well, it's cold enough outside that I put on what I call a toboggan. Some people call them beanies, some people call them whatever. But I didn't feel like putting on pants. I got on my stretchy shorts from the Thanksgiving meal. What's up, Denny O-Fools? So like I said, if I wanted to try to knock out all the information of this at the very beginning, so if somebody comes back and watches this later, to know about that, they won't have to go 20 minutes in. But if y'all have got any questions, if I didn't cover something, you can let me know. I'd still, out of all the sets, I feel like again, just because it's metric and SAE, I feel like this set right here, the 65-400, is for the size that it takes up and what you can do with it, it's a very good set. And it comes in at the same price as those deep wells. These are the 2 main ones I keep in my truck right now currently, is the T-handle, ratcheting T-handle. I put this ratcheting handle, I took out some bits, it fits inside of there. This is the ratcheting multi. It came with the nut driver, the hollow magnetic nut driver set, and then it came with this screwdriver handle. I think it's $50 on Amazon. So you get all the nut drivers and this handle, but I keep the nut drivers in my tool bag. And then I keep this ratcheting, impact ratcheting stubby in here just because I keep that with this KNECT stuff, because I can take all the sockets that are in this set and put them in here if I need to with that adapter that I've got that goes from KNECT M to KNECT S, or KNECT S to KNECT M in that case. So those are the 2 those are the main 2 of all the KNECT sets I have that I keep in my truck all the time. My other ones I keep in a drawer over here, and I come in here and get them as if I'm going to a job where I feel like the flip sockets would work better or something like that. I grab them, but you don't really need the flip sockets for the most part if you've got, that set. What's up, Chris L? There's actually, I think, more people in here than normal. So I told Miss Maintenance, I said I'm gonna go ahead and just do a live review because I was gonna put it out tomorrow, but then I was gonna have to come out here and film everything and edit everything and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I kind of want to do a live anyways, in case there's people out there who, they don't have anybody to be with for Thanksgiving, or maybe they're done for the day already and they're sitting at home anyways. And I'm just going to do a live review real fast, and then we'll do a chat after. And extra gut healthy today. The Klein patchwork blanket is at the same place you got the pan, on sale from $80 down to 40, but you probably have to still spend you still have to spend $100 there at that same place, breaking free, which is not very hard to find enough stuff to spend $100 on there. But yeah, that blanket's nice. If that's the one you're talking about, then I know which one you're talking about because I liked it whenever I saw it whenever I was looking around. Had I not had I not bought I bought the Velocity bag like 2 hours before I found that stuff on the Klein stuff. So I was like, I don't want to really go spend a bunch of money at this Klein tool store. So I spent $100 to get the stuff that I wanted. And I actually really wanted everything that I got. So it didn't like I was just sticking stuff in the cart to hit $100. But either way, I was still coming out better than buying that pan on eBay. But yeah, it worked out. But they got a lot of nice stuff on there. They're coming out with a metric quad ratcheting wrench set. Yeah, probably. It wouldn't surprise me. What I'm really looking forward to is I'm waiting for a set. I want the set of the slim profile pass through, like they almost are like you stick them in certain size wrenches. It basically turns one wrench into a bunch of sizes of ratcheting wrench. They've got them right now in the SAE in a set, but I'm waiting for them. I know they're going to come out with a metric because in the pictures at Lowe's, like they've got like Klein KNECT stuff, like over beside the stuff, they've got metric of that same exact thing in those pictures. It's been up there forever, but they haven't released any of them yet. But I'm not buying that SAE set because I want to wait until they have an SAE metric set, hopefully in a case about yay size, to where I can just slap that on there too. And then I could almost probably then I could just really carry, two things for the most part, and it should cover everything. And that would cover you for pass-through sockets. That would cover you for ratchet wrenches. And that again is if you work out in open stuff. Like some of those things don't work really well in confined areas, the same as like a 1/4 inch socket is going to fit in a confined area a lot better than a 1/4 inch socket that fits in a 9/16 ratchet wrench, that kind of thing. So some of those things don't work for certain people, but there's certain ones are good. Can we see the deeps? Nico B said. So if after this, like I said, I got a lot of stuff at the beginning, but this one essentially in the mod box case, I think that's the big selling point because you can get other sets of impact sockets for the same price, even cheaper, depends on what brand you get. But if you're in mod box, so to open this one, you do have 2 slides, but it still shuts the same, lock. I don't have this extension in there. Right. Let me get that. They still lock the same. You just press it, locks, connects into the other ones. This one does have a handle because it's so big. But the nice thing to me is they're ink filled on the letters or on the numbers. And then also, color coded. I've had my set of 1/2 inch Milwaukee and 3/8 Milwaukees that are that right there. And now that I've had those, pretty much if I see a set of sockets that doesn't have this, I don't even really want them, to be honest with you. But I'm older. My eyesight's not what it used to be. That's a big deal to me, to be able to see them sizes like that. This happens when you overindulge in great food. Yeah, you gotta put on your turkey pants. We do ours early. Yeah, we usually do a lunch instead of a Thanksgiving dinner type thing on the Thursday. When you got the Klein toolbox marker, so he's talking about this right here. did I get the visor that come with it. I didn't know that the visor or any of that came with it, but it was in the same package as this. So I'm assuming if you order that, you're going to get all that same stuff that was in mine, because I didn't even know I was getting any of that extra stuff. And I don't think I've got that in here. I want to say I did something with it, but maybe I do. Let me look in here. Yeah, I do. Yep. I hadn't put it in my truck yet. So this came with it too. So basically it's one of those things that you attach to your visor. You can put your some insurance cards and all that kind of stuff in it if you want to. And it's got the Klein logo there and 2 carabiners that say Klein. So that was all in the same package with me ordering. Based on the website, it really only showed this. Everybody started color coding everything after Vera became popular. You going Black Friday shopping tomorrow? No, not in person. I'll be scrolling around on my phone, but I don't do the in-person stuff. It's too peoply out there. Wish you all the best. I'll catch it later. Don't say anything I wouldn't. We'll see you, Matt. What's up, Ray's Maintenance? Ray's Home and Apartment Maintenance. Now he's just Ray's Maintenance. I have had a good one so far, Ray. Hope you did too, buddy. Need those insurance cards in case you get pulled over in Georgia, Miss Maintenance said. You know, she is a super speeder, according to Georgia. What's up, Michael? What's up, Terry Burton? Happy Thanksgiving to you too, buddy. I really like the mod box cases. They're all like none of them's overly too big. Like they fit the stuff, like whatever's in them. Now there are certain things that I wish that they would come out with, and then there's certain things that I wish that you could add to sets. But I guess that's kind of the downside to them, is they're kind of made to fit everything that came with it, type of thing. So if you find an adapter in another set, it's very hard to find a spot to put it in there. But like this one here, I've got the KNECT M to KNECT S adapter inside of there, so that I've got it in there in case I need it for other stuff. But you know, there are certain things about the sets that you're kind of stuck with the way that they're built out, but they're also, that causes there not to be like an oversized case with extra space in between stuff and all. I mean, they pretty much put stuff in there pretty tight, to where it makes it to where it's tight if you want to fit it in your truck. That's the big thing for me, is I have to keep a lot of tools in my truck because I do so many different things. And then so space is always a premium. So even if you can find like this set that's just smaller, just in general, that helps out a lot if you do that over the course of like 15 things. What's up, Perez? Going to get my free Lowe's bucket gift pack at 6 a.m. That's what Michael said too. He couldn't pay me to go to a store in person tomorrow, is what Miss Maintenance said, and I'm the same exact way. You know, whatever it is they're offering, it's not at a big enough discount for me, and it's not substantial enough that it's worth it to me. Looking to switch over to Modbox. I really like them. I'm actually, I've got some more stuff behind me, or behind you, not behind me, that I might be doing a big swap in my truck in the back seat. If this comes out how I think it's going to, I might be switching from pack out in the back seat, not as a whole thing, because I've invested way too much in pack out. But a lot of my pack out, especially the ones in my back seat, they just stay there all the time. They're not stuff that I snap in and out. So it doesn't necessarily matter that those are pack out. I just bought pack out because if I take them out of there, I can use them for other stuff, which will be the case. Even if I swap, I'll still be able to use the pack out drawers and stuff that are in my truck, because I can use them in here and snap stuff in and out of them, or, you know, do whatever. There's some cool boxes out there, like the small half box. Yeah, they got all sorts of sizes of, like, so you got everything that ranges from You know, I think this is the biggest one I have. I don't know if there's anything bigger than this because I think the complete set, I think that's kind of what size it is. I think this might be the biggest one right now, other than like you get into the full size mod box stuff. Then then you got this size, which is what that complete set is. And then they got some that are a little bit skinnier, but also longer. That might actually be the same. So yeah, so that's half the size of that one. And then you got some that are, you know, a little bit, probably about a third this way. And then you've got the super tiny ones, you know, that look like that snap on too. And they all, like, it doesn't matter that they're different sizes. They all lock onto one another. Now you do have to go biggest to smallest. Like, I don't think you can't snap like a big one on top of a small one type thing. It doesn't work that way. Like, you have to basically have it like a pyramid in a sense when you stack them. So it is a little bit of a, you can't just put them however you want to type thing when you're putting them back. You have to kind of strategically build it like a Lego set. You do any Black Friday giveaways? If so, give it to me. I'd like metric, please. Klein's still coming out with the new mod box stuff. They've got some stuff that's new, but I mean, it's already out. I don't know if there's nothing I remember seeing, which, I mean, I can't say even if there was, but I can say that I don't remember anything that I saw while I was at Klein that is coming out that I haven't seen, like, been released yet. Maybe one thing. I can't remember. So there is some stuff. I always feel insecure when I hold a tool in my hand that's bigger than 5 inches, Ivan said. I think the turkey is wearing off a little. Yeah, we ate about, I guess, noon, which I'm Central time, so it's 6:30 now. I'm still stunned you're out here today. Yeah, we have Thanksgiving at around lunchtime, so we got home probably about an hour ago, I guess. And we don't travel far. Like, where we went today is local. I was surprised there's this many people on here. I thought everybody be busy. Because I wouldn't, let me turn off that, now that I'm not there, it makes a difference. Let me turn this one off. I think that kind of helps. Clint just started vacation off for the next 10 days. Nice. I take off today and tomorrow, which towards this time of year, I don't schedule, or I try not to do that much like big work, just because I don't like to have I try to just keep it to service call stuff and all that kind of stuff, because I don't want something, for one, the weather plays a role, and then you get into, I don't want something to be on a timeline for somebody to have Thanksgiving dinner or for Christmas or all that stuff. Or then something comes up where I would like to go somewhere for Christmas for somebody in my family or whatever. And then something comes up, so I just try not to. So, but I've got work I got to do all next week and the rest of the year. So I'm only taking off today and tomorrow. Yeah, that big light I use for whenever I'm doing like the tool reviews, but I don't ever have it on except for that. It kind of blur, like if I've got it in the background, it kind of makes it blurry. It's my chill day, but the weekend's coming. I have to get the truck done before the snow hits. They talk like we would get snow tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to now. It has gotten colder in the last couple of days. Like, Monday and Tuesday this week was like 65 and nice, sunny, really nice outside. And then it's dropped down to like the 40s and stuff now. Have to get more crown molding tomorrow morning, dreading the hordes of shoppers. Oh man, that's really bad if you've got to like work on Black Friday and then go to the store just to buy like stuff for an actual job, and you got to get in that mix of mess of people. Yeah, that would stink. Although I think Lowe's and Home Depot, their stores in particular, have drastic, and probably other ones again. I don't go to the other ones, but I have went to Lowe's and Home Depot before on Black Friday, like a little later in the day. I think Miss Maintenance even said that. I think the way they put their stuff on sale for, weeks leading up to it, I don't think their stores are as crowded as like some of the other ones. So it's not as bad, but it's still definitely more than what the normal, you know, is. Tom says our works pretty much came to a halt. It sucks when you need the work. 30 here. Clint said he's in Ohio. What's up, Captain 41? Bowery's hunting, frying up some potatoes. Cowboys up 10 on the Chiefs with 5 minutes left. Nice. Michael's off until Tuesday for hunting too. So Jeff and Michael are both out there hunting. It's time for a turkey leftover sandwich. Yeah, I've got a to-go plate in there. Amanda's sister smoked a turkey, and it's really good actually. And then they had some ham, and then I brought home some mashed potatoes, some stuffing, macaroni and cheese, and some more of that turkey. Lowe's last year was dead Black Friday. Yeah, I bet, like I said, I bet it's because basically, I mean, they do have some doorbusters. Like, again, it's usually like some ladders and stuff like that. But for the most part, everything that Lowe's and Home Depot have on sale for Black Friday, it's what's on sale out there right now. Like, I think Home Depot, if I remember right, somebody said they were going to have a doorbuster of the uh, M12 subcompacts. Is that the name for them? The smaller, they're brushless, but they're not fuel. The brushless impact and drill, the real small ones. I think a set of those with some batteries is going to be $149. I think I saw somebody post that. Stuffing or dressing. I actually call it dressing, is what we call it, but because we don't stuff it in the bird. I guess that if that's the technical difference for the naming, we've always called it dressing, but that we also don't stuff it in the bird. So I don't know if that's the difference between the two. But then again, it's called stovetop stuffing if you make it out of the box, and that's not stuffed in a bird. So I don't know. What's up, Lexi? We Puerto Ricans do pernil, pork shoulder, sometimes instead of the turkey, and I could go make a sandwich of that right now. Neither here this year. Let's see. Have you seen the videos where guys buy 3 of the 1 drawer carts and consolidate all 3 drawers in one unit? It looks cool. And I like the 3 large drawers. So you're talking about pack out, Terry? So they take basically the box off the bottom. Let's see. 3 of the 1 drawer carts. Oh, yeah. Buy 3 of the 1 drawer. Well, no, that's 1 drawer carts. Looks cool, and I like the 3. I don't know how they do that on the pack out, because I don't think the bottom of that cart has like the snap in type thing. So I'd be curious how they did it. I haven't seen the videos. Harbor Freight carts, all 3 consolidate all 3 drawers in one unit. I haven't seen that. 3 of the 1 drawer. So the 1 drawer, they're metal carts, and they got like a top where you can sit stuff in them. I haven't seen that. But the 3 large drawers, like if that's what it had, I've always said that's my preference. Like, I'd just as soon have what that top drawer is on most toolboxes. If I could have that all the way down, that's what I'd want. Like, I'd rather just have, because it never fails. Like if you buy a set of ratchet wrenches or something, and they come in like those Milwaukee ones, for instance, the ones I just picked up, the ones that are on clearance for $50, or not clearance, but they're on sale for $50 at Home Depot. Like they'll fit in the drawer that I've got here, but it's like it's inevitable. Like you'll end up being like an inch short or something to put two of those in one of your drawers, versus if you just have a bunch of wide open drawers, you can mix and match stuff in those. It doesn't matter. I'd just as soon have that than have the sides. Well, I need to replay this. My brother called right when it started, and Sonya just said now she's serving dinner. Yeah, I saw TPG that you said that at the beginning, that y'all was getting ready to eat. I was actually surprised that there's, like I said, there's more people in here right now than there is normally on Thursday night. But I also got, I think whenever you put a tool brand thing in the name or something or other, it must help or something too. Because the last time I did the Klein deals, when it got more, there was more people in here for that too. M18 top off with a 3.0 for $99 at Home Depot. I'm using my top off right now. Actually, I use it all the time out here because it never fails. If I come out here at nighttime for the lives, my phone is almost dead from all day, and I just plug it up to the top off and have it charging while I'm doing the live. And then the 3.0 high outputs, those are the ones I like to run in my surge and any kind of impact or anything like that. And you don't even necessarily need to put them in the nail guns, but they're nice in the nail guns. I've got a 2.0 that I run in my nail guns a lot just to save on weight a little bit. M12 6.0 batteries for $49, Tanner West said. Is that at Home Depot or, which I'm going to be honest though, the 6.0s, maybe they've done something to them, but those are the only M12 batteries. And my buddy's got some. He's had problems with his. I've had to jump all mine, and now I've got them to where I just leave them in here, because I basically, if you run them dead, like if you run them to the point where they blink and the tool shuts off, like at 1 bar or whatever, they won't charge back. So I typically just use them in here in the garage, and then after I'm done using them for whatever I'm doing, let's go ahead and put them on the charger. Because if I run them low, I have to jump them. I have to basically use another battery to charge them. I don't know if Milwaukee's done anything. I haven't even seen the 6.0s really in the store for a long time, so I didn't know if they quit making them or what. So I don't know if they've done something different. Phil Lewis says we call it stuffing instead of dressing. We also have sausage stuffing. So Miss Maintenance's family, they usually make two different ones, and one of them has oysters in it and one of them doesn't. Mine doesn't have any of that stuff in it. It's just dressings, what we call it. Lowe's has a lot of flex deals today. Tom said he's had two 6.0s and not had trouble with them. Lexi said she's had problems with hers. Yeah, I've even got two up here that I can't bring back to life no matter what I do. I wrote bad on one. I don't even know why I keep them up here for, but you know, this one's dead. Yeah, I wrote bad on it. I can't even jump it. It won't even jump. And this one started doing the same thing. So I've had two of them completely kaput. I've got two more that, as long as I keep, that's what both of these are too. Both of those are still good. Or they're not good, but I can still use them. I don't know why I haven't just thrown those away. I don't know. It's one of them things where I probably kept them thinking, well, maybe I'll need the shell of a battery someday, or I could rebuild them or do something. Oysters are a good way to keep me from attending. You know, oysters are what's the technical name for it? Aphrodisiac or something like that. How do you jump them? I got a bad one. I took some 12 gauge wire, and then I took a hammer and smashed down the ends real tight. So then you take like a fully charged, 4 or whatever. Like, so here's a 4. And then I just take and push these inside of here. And it doesn't matter necessarily. I mean, there is a positive and a negative in there, but as long as you put the same one on this one to the same one on this one. So just make sure your battery's in the same spot. And then put these in there. And then you just let it sit. I've left it even overnight that way. Basically, it's going to transfer some of the power from this one over to this one. And then occasionally that allows you, if you can get this one up enough, sometimes you can put it on the charger to work. Sometimes it still won't charge on the charger no matter what. But you can keep moving power from this one over to this one and use it, and then just do the same thing. Basically, you just can't charge it anymore. But sometimes it'll still work on the charger if you do it that way. And I've had zero problems out of any M12 batteries except for the 6.0s. TPG calls it stuffing. I had to warranty one of my M12 6.0s, and I probably should have looked into that again. People ask me that all the time on different tools. What's the warranty? How well is the warranty? It's like, I can tell you right now, the M12 Surge is the only tool I probably warranted in 20 years. I don't mess with it. It's usually more work to figure all that out. Dressing here in East Central Georgia along the Savannah River. My Home Depot cart has $1,400 worth of tools in it. After the discount, it's $1,100, but I really don't need the tools. The Waitley 2-pack 12-volt 6-amp replacement batteries are only $30 on Amazon. I have some that are 5 years old. I remember, I think it's Tool Boss or something bought a bunch of those, or even they had maybe a 9.0 battery that fit the M12 or something. He uses his for like lights or something to charge his phones and all that. And he acted like it works pretty well for that. I don't know if he ever used them in his power tools or not. Stuffing inside something dressing, cooked alone. Yeah, I assume that's the difference between dressing and stuffing. And like I said, we may call it whatever. I'm assuming that's how you came up with the actual term. Would be stuffing would be the one that was cooked inside of the bird or stuffed inside the bird, and then dressing would be because it was something beside it. Miss Maintenance said Abraham. She was impressed that you could spell that. I'm sure it was autocorrect. Sully uses those Waitlys every day. So you use yours in the power tools and they still work out fine. I've never bought any which I always use. I have plenty of batteries, so that's why I've never really bought the generic ones. It's not necessarily that I was worried about buying one, but I always, whenever I buy tools, I typically wait until I'm getting free batteries or, something, unless it's just a tool I've been waiting for type thing. Michael warranty the 6.0 and the new one's not had any problems. So you used to have oyster dressing too, Clint. I had never had it before until I started having Thanksgivings with Miss Maintenance. You can stuff a turkey with dressing, but it's still dressing, Terry said. Yeah, the only thing I've ever called stuffing was stovetop stuffing, but that's because it says it on the box. But it's always been dressing. At Thanksgiving, it's turkey and dressing. Could you do an updated tour of your work truck? I'm trying to think if I've really done anything different since the last. Have you watched the last one? SS Sea Salt. Like I'm on part 3 or part 4. I don't even remember now. I know I had one where it was just my truck when I still worked at where I worked at. Then I bought the camper topper. And then I put my drawers back in there. So I think the last one's part 4. So I don't know if you've watched the 4th one with my custom. Basically, I built some custom drawers that come out both sides of my doors now. And then I've got pack out all in my back seat turned a different direction. I don't know if you've seen that one or not. I don't think I've done anything like majorly different since then. Phil Lewis just buys the Whately 9 amp hour from Amazon. They've been really good. Have a fuel gauge built in. Now, I do like that if they've got that. I will say that's one thing I don't care for. That's like right now, like if I've got these two sitting out on my bench, I've got to that's why I don't have enough room for M12 ones. That all I've got. I usually have enough room for my spare M18s besides the ones I have in my truck. But like for some reason, if I set these out and I forget, and I don't know, did I set them here because I want to charge them, or did I set them here because they were charged? I pulled them off and stuck something else on there. So then I got to take a tool, and then put this in there and go like this and see how many bars I've got. I do wish they had a way to, push a button on it like you do the M18s. It would be nice. And I do have stuff in my hoodie pocket. So yes, I am fat, but I'm not that fat. I've got a bunch of stuff in my pocket. Maybe after whatever is behind us works, then number 5. I don't know what that is. Maybe after whatever is behind us works, then number 5. Oh, talking about the truck tour. Yeah, I don't remember the last one I did see sea salt was not. It wasn't super long ago, but it wasn't like in the last, month or whatever, anything like that. But I've got a newer ish one. I can't trust knockoff batteries. Had one fry my M18 Surge. Jeff Bowery said, "Little Debbie's, is that what's in my pocket there?" Now I've just got a bunch of rags and some other stuff like that. The good old got stuff in my pocket. Up to 129 in the chat. Well, let me see what I got over here. It's Thanksgiving. I'm feeling frisky. Now, whatever this is, I'm probably not going to get it shipped out till next week. So take those out. What's your biggest score this Black Friday so far? I haven't really got anything that, in my opinion, is like a deal. I mean, I have bought some stuff, but nothing that was really even a Black Friday deal, in all honesty, that I can think of. I bought myself a new iPad off of eBay because I needed one that had more. It's the same exact one, just 256 gigs of memory instead of my old one had 64. And it was getting to be a problem for me. Like if I made it's more so like the watch me work videos, because I have a lot more footage for that. And I do all my editing on an iPad just because it's bigger and I can use my finger and it's a touch screen and all that kind of stuff. And, but it was always hard if you put a bunch of videos on there and then you have to take that video and make your video, and then you have to save that edited version on there too. Sometimes didn't have enough room and it was a big pain. I had to edit stuff 15 times, put it back on, take me tons of extra time. So I finally broke down and just bought one with more memory. Cowboys are going to win by 3. All right. Put your chat on. I'm on top messages, so I need to filter. That's why somebody just said, I thought I already changed this to all messages. I did, but then I had to close it to fix it. And now I was on top messages because somebody said you're behind on the chat, but I wasn't on all messages. I was on top messages. So make sure you change your chat settings up there to all messages and not top messages. Y'all are guessing early. Now I got to wait for you to quit guessing. We got to quit until we don't see numbers so I don't get this confused. Have you thought about a Ford Transit van for your pack out system? So at some point, like if my truck is paid for, I had my truck before I started my business because it was my truck, and I've always just made it work. I've been trying to figure it out. And then I also didn't want to go buy something until like I actually was in my business for a while to see kind of what people were having me do. What is it I actually kind of need type of thing to get a feel for that before I got a new vehicle. And I'll probably, just be honest with you, I'll probably drive my truck till the wheels fall off of it just because I don't want to make a payment on anything else. But if I get another vehicle in the future, it will probably be some sort of a transit van of some kind. All right. Number between 1 and 10. It has been guessed. So we've got a 4. And the first person I saw with a 4 was Breaking Free. Up there, and then Michael Benucci said it later, but Breaking Free is the first one I have. And again, you got to make sure you're on all messages and not top messages. So Breaking Free, we're going to go with, so this is for Breaking Free right here. Your card is an 8. That's kind of a hard one. 8. Is this card higher or lower than 8? For Breaking Free. He says high. Or Breaking Free says high. Got a 4. That's lower. All right, give me a number. 1 to 10. All right, it's out there. You got Terry Burton was the first one I see with the 5. Michael's second again. I saw another 5 down there. Michael's been coming in with the same number twice, but Terry Burton with the 5. 3. Higher or lower? Pretty sure I know what your guess is. He says higher. 9. So I have Klein electrical test kit. It's basically a receptacle tester and then a small little voltage tester. Lights up the light. Part number ET45VP. Klein GFCI tester, the digital one. Or the Loop Gear Loop Dot flashlight. I just reviewed this. If you haven't seen that, it's a little flashlight. So one of those 3 is what we'll do today. Those are some old choices. Yeah, they're all the ones that are on deal at Lowe's for Black Friday right now. A lot of Klein stuff, and this one I don't need, and then I've already got 2 of the GFCI testers, so I plan on giving one of those away anyway. So, and then I've got so many small flashlights right now that I know I'm never going to probably use that one. So I give away stuff locally all the time too. I can't keep all the stuff that people send me. I mean, it's a nice thing that people send me stuff because it allows me to get more tools that I pay my own money for, along with, because they're sending me some stuff that I would pay my own money for anyways. But then it ends up to be I've got too many things, and I'm not somebody who just keeps all this stuff. Digital GFCI tester, and I know I probably have your address, Terry, but just to save me the time for searching for it again, shoot me an email with where I need to mail that to. There'll be more giveaways. So like I said, I doubt very seriously I'll get that shipped out until next week sometime, Terry. So now pecan pie. So we had a Miss Maintenance sister made a pecan pie. What was it called? She's in here if she's still listening. Was it a truffle or something like that? It was basically like a punch bowl pecan pie with whipped cream and a bunch of different stuff. Basically all the pecan pie parts, even the pie crust was even in there. It was really good. Craftsman sawhorses are only 15 bucks on Amazon. I need the trifle. It's trifle, not truffle. I said truffle, I think. 15 bucks for them Craftsman sawhorses. That's a really good deal. Uh, yeah, I might even get myself another set of them if they're only 15 bucks. So you'd be paying 30 bucks, to get a set. Homemade apple pie. Yeah, I usually make in my cast iron skillets. I haven't made anything in the Klein one or anything yet. I haven't decided if I'm cooking in it or not. But I usually make either cherry or apple whenever I make pies. I'll make sure I stuck my jokers back in here. Yeah, I did. Lots of flex tools on clearance. Any good tools on sale? Like I said, most of the stuff at Home Depot and Lowe's is the same stuff that's been on sale for the last couple of weeks. I do know that I don't know it. I've just seen people post it. Home Depot is going to have the Milwaukee M12 subcompact set with some batteries, like the kit with the drill and the impact, for $149, I think it is. Don't cook in it. I kind of want to, which would make it to where I wouldn't cook in it. I kind of want to get some white and fill all that in and make like the logo white. This is what I kind of want to do. But then you wouldn't be able to cook in it because then you're going, heat up all that paint. Daughter-in-law does yummy homemade cookies every year. Yes, I ate a snickerdoodle and it had cream cheese in the middle of it. And then I ate a cranberry white chocolate, I guess it was. I think that's what I asked her if that's what it was. It was pretty good. All tools on sale are good. It'll replace that clock. I'm going to buy me the clock part. Like I'm going to buy a cheap dollar store clock and see if I can change out the clock part, like the mechanism for the hands, and see if I can fix that one. Still be more functional than that clock. No, that clock is right. Twice a day. Keys. Yeah, I'd go ahead and do a giveaway of about 4 or 5 things at one time, but I got to spread it out because shipping has gotten ridiculous. So I usually just do like one, but we'll eventually give all these things away. Where's the Jeff sticker? Let's see. I think I stuck it in this drawer with my other stickers. Although, no, I got it out. I took it inside and took a picture of it to send to you guys. So it might be back inside the house. I think. Although I thought I brought it back out here. Maybe. It might be back in the house. Because I got the new, I brought them out here because this is the envelope that came in, but then I didn't have my phone out here, and I took them back inside and took a picture of them. Because I got the Jeff Bowery stickers, and then I got the new Klein Tradesman Club. Yeah, I know where they are now. They're in the house. They're in my cubby in the house. I got the Tradesman Club, the stickers that they shipped out for that too. Got my Morgan's Maintenance sticker on my new file cabinet drawer. Did you get free shipping at the place you got the pan? No, you have to do $100 minimum order, and then I want to say the shipping was like $26, 20 something, $24.95 or something like that for the option I picked. I had one of those where you could pick faster, or I think I picked whatever the cheapest one was. Velocity is supposed to have a 10% sale on their bags, free shipping, and a free mat if you spend over $200. So that's extra on that 10% deal. I got the free shipping and the free mat. Yeah, the new the Klein Tradesman stickers were pretty good this time. Like I liked all 3 of them. Sometimes some of them are a little bit, weird. And we'll see if this. I'll probably have to plug up my iPad too. It's getting a little low. Let's see if I'm assuming I can charge 2 things at once. I think if you email Velocity, they may refund you the difference for the 10%. I didn't participate in your last one, and then you gave away the distance measurer. Yeah, Sir Master of None won that one. Is the Swiss Evo grip in the Dickies mug organizer? No, that's one of their. This is like their strike through, tang through, whatever it is you want to call them, demo driver type. But it's an older, whatever their normal Swiss grip. It's not that newer version. I've got some of the newer ones, but I'll probably make a video of those. I haven't had a lot of time to mess around with them much. I bought these because I was wanting to have some just to try them, because the only PB Swiss screwdrivers I bought is the Insider, and this one's not the same grip. I don't. It's not that it's a bad grip; it just doesn't feel anything like these. And then I bought the Ratstein version that had the grip like these, and I really liked the grip on that. But I gave that screwdriver away just because I knew I wasn't going to use it very much, because it wasn't what I really thought it was going to be as far as being able to stick a bit holder or anything in it. And it was too expensive a screwdriver to just be sitting around. So I gave it away. I think, let's see. I haven't gotten to try the new style from PB Swiss. They're not a huge difference in the feel of them, like just in general. I don't think there's a little bit more grip, or I guess torque, I guess you'd say, that you can get on it supposedly. Waiting on my Palmer electrical stickers. What's up, Apache? Happy Thanksgiving to you too, buddy. Yeah, we had a good one. We just got home about. I'm gonna make sure this is still plugged in. I'm assuming it is. Y'all ain't said anything. We got home a little early. I wasn't planning on doing a live tonight, and then I was gonna come out here and do a review video of those and put it out tomorrow. And then I was just like, man, I really don't feel like editing or anything like that. And I kind of wanted to do a live because I thought there's probably a lot of people out there that either already had Thanksgiving and maybe they're sitting at home, just don't have anything to do, or they don't have anybody to go do Thanksgiving with. And I thought I'd get on here and see. And there's actually been a lot more people in here I expected. I didn't expect there to be very many. But I thought I'll go ahead and do a live review. And then if there so happens to be more people in here, I'll go ahead and stay out here and chat for a while. I see Ron hiding in your new mug. Yeah, I put him back there. I need to get out here and clean this up. That Palmer kid's a go-getter. Yeah, he is. I like him for his age. He's a go-getter. I've watched several of his videos. I don't watch all of them, but I watch several of them. May just do a video before you. So you got some coming, plumbing, of the new grips. Love the content and the lives. We're waiting for the family to get here. We're a few hours behind. Yeah, so I'm visiting my brothers and stuff tomorrow. So we'll do kind of like a second Thanksgiving tomorrow. I found Palmer when he was sub 1,000. Amazing story. Yeah, I don't even know how many he has now. I'm sure it's quite a few because he comes through in the algorithm pretty often. I see his stuff up there quite a bit. You bought a set earlier from DPRD and some other stuff. Or it may just be there's more people in here tonight because there's not as many people that normally do lives on Thursdays, and they're all busy, and I'm the only one out here. So I was saying to myself, what am I going to do tonight without the live? And then to die. So what's everybody's favorite part of the food of Thanksgiving? Like, what's your favorite thing food wise about Thanksgiving? Mine's probably the dressing. That's probably my favorite thing because it's something that I really don't have other than Thanksgiving for the most part. It's like not something that we make a side dish for, like macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes and things like that. That's stuff that you might have throughout the year with other stuff. 31.4 subs on Palmer. Nice. Dressing. Terry Burton said dressing too. Did my post show up on the community page? Yeah. I just actually looked at some of them today, and I want to say one of them is yours. What was it about? Because I went through like 10 of them today. I'm trying to remember what yours was. Green bean casserole, Jeff Bowery said. T-Gig, and so did T-Gig. Yeah, we had this green beans, but it had some potatoes and like bacon and stuff mixed in with them or something too. They were good. I'm not normally a big green bean person, but I do like green bean casserole better than green beans. Baked beans with bacon, breaking free said. Here we go again with the stuffing versus dressing. Now some way wasn't in. Did I do a live on a different day? Yeah, I did one. When did I do the last live? Was it Sunday? I did one. I don't remember what it was, but some way emailed me and said he couldn't get his stuff to show up in the chat for whatever reason, and because people were wondering where he was, and he said that something happened with his YouTube handle and he had to redo it all or do something. So I was curious to see if I haven't seen anybody mention the Makita or something. I thought he might end up having a little bit different name or something. The cranberry that's shaped like a can. Now that's actually my preferred cranberry sauce. Like I've went places before and they've made fancy cranberry sauce with real berries and mixed with other stuff and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, I just as soon have it out of that can. I think the can stuff's pretty daggone good. Ray says cooking the bird. Clint and Jeff said dressing. Dressing was the first thing for Jeff, and then the second one was green bean casserole. What's up, Diesel Tech or Diesel K Tech 7? Deviled eggs. Terry Burton said that's some of my boys' favorite things. Turkey and the ham. Yeah, I like the cranberry sauce out of the can mixed with maybe some mashed potatoes and a little bit of dressing, all that kind of mixed into one bite. And see, Miss Maintenance can't stand her food to touch each other. And I tell her she misses out on stuff all the time because some things taste better accidentally mixed together than what they taste like by themselves. So my wife's apple pie, it's like a blue moon, rare, but when you catch it, boy, it's amazing. Cole said he thirds the green bean casserole. Sully said beer's his favorite part. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to deal with your family, I guess. Oh, yeah, Breaking Free. I did see that one. Yeah. I actually commented on that one. So, yeah, I remember that now. Monica with a turkey on her head. So, I did see that. Desserts. Miss Maintenance said desserts. Tools and Twisties did a Koken video and shared a 30% sale from Koken USA. So, if any of you are looking for some Koken stuff, might get you some 30% off. That might have been you up there a minute. Yeah, Chad's of Christmas Past was saying he's wanting to buy some Koken sockets. So, might check that out. Chad. Tanya makes stuffing with chicken in it. Yeah, we haven't made it for a long time, but I remember when me and Miss Maintenance first got married, you could take stovetop stuffing and then like cream of chicken soup and then chicken and then another layer of stovetop stuffing and cream of something else. And we made it and it was kind of like stuffing with chicken in it and all that. It's pretty good. We haven't made that in a long time. My wife's cake made from Little Debbie's with ice cream. You can get Koken from Japan for a bit cheaper than that sale, but you got to pay international shipping and the import tax. Yeah, I still haven't been. Which the Velocity bag was the last thing that I ordered that came from overseas, and somebody had mentioned, who was it that bought a bag? Man, I'm trying to think of who the name was now in my head. Somebody got a bag and they ended up getting hit with a big import fee or something or other, and I didn't get any of that. So that's one of those things where now you don't know whenever you order something from overseas. Sometimes you're going to get hit with an extra fee that you got to pay for them to deliver it, type thing. I didn't have it on my Velocity, but somebody, I can't remember who it was now, said they got hit with it. I'd rather have the canned cranberry sauce. Didn't get any today. It was gone by the time I got in line. Pecan pie, Breaking Free said. I like deviled eggs, but they're filled with sulfur, and you know what comes of that. Clint says it's pecan, not pecan. I told Erica, watch this is going to get Jeff going. I bought some stuff from Velocity and they didn't factor in the import tax. Yeah, I didn't pay anything extra. All I paid was what I paid Velocity, and I got it to my house and didn't have to pay anything extra. So, what's up, Wings and Pizza? Happy Thanksgiving to you too, buddy. And I haven't bought anything on Amazon Japan for a while. Like it's been a little, because most of the stuff I've went to go buy on Amazon, Amazon Japan has started selling some stuff like it's still on Amazon US, and it just says that it's shipping from Japan. Where used to you had to change your country. Every now and then, some of that stuff you can just order it through Amazon US, but it's still really coming from Amazon Japan. I got hit with it on a KNECT tool from Japan with tax. What do you think about the working mat from Velocity Pro Gear? I bought the black skull version. I like the fact that it's like a waterproof on the underside, kind of. So, like, if you are doing something, especially like plumbing stuff, and you set it out, like I'm going to kind of use mine the same way I use my like moving blanket, like where I put on somebody's bed or something whenever I'm working on a ceiling fan, and put my stuff on that instead of directly on their bed. But I do like the fact that it's like a waterproof type on the backside, so that if you do want to set it out like in somebody's, like if you're working underneath the sink or something, you want to set some stuff. Normally I just take a like garbage bag or something in with me and take stuff that's kind of wet and put it inside that and set it so that if there is water that comes out of it, it's in the trash bag type thing. But I do like it, and it's definitely, it folds up like a lot tighter than a moving blanket or some of that stuff. But it's also not maybe as, I don't know that because I haven't really dropped anything major on it or anything yet, but I'm sure it's not as cushiony protective as like a moving blanket is. So like if you're setting stuff on a hardwood floor or something underneath of your mat, it might not be as cushiony. I didn't make a leftover plate, and he said, "Don't think you're getting any of mine." Yeah, I'm over there making my leftover box, and she's like, "I don't even want to think about eating anything later." I said, "Well, you're gonna want to eat something later, so don't think you're getting any of mine. If I'm going to make myself a box and you're not going to make anything because you think you're not going to eat anything, when we know that you're going to eat something." So she'll be trying to get some of my stuff. Although I don't know that I really got anything in my box. It's the stuff that you like. So celebrate Thanksgiving by buying the last of Flex tools. I am a little curious about that. I think I haven't really. I watched like Caleb Ross had a video where he was talking about, because they were going on sale. Like back whenever I was making some posts a while back, like they were deal of the day, like every day for dirt cheap. That I was a little bit curious if something was going on with them, but I haven't seen any kind of video that specifically says anything about it. But I haven't really been looking for those videos either. I don't buy any. I don't have any Flex tools, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm home alone and still made dinner just for the leftovers, Sully said. When's the video of Morgan Ramsey? Yeah, I know it. I probably should have like kept some leftover, because the turkey that I've got, I'll probably eat all that. I should have like got a lot more extra turkey. I could have made a turkey pot pie in the Morgan Ramsey video. I thought about buying a bunch of mats from Velocity, but the orange looks like it catches dirt easily. I would say, like, if I had the choice between getting a black one and an orange one, I'd probably get a black one, just in general, because of what you're going to use it for. You know, definitely going to probably not look as bad as fast type thing. Terry said, "Amanda, I'd be stingy with my leftover plate too." Yeah, it's one of those cases where it's the classic thing of somebody's not hungry and they don't want you to fix them anything, and then you fix yourself a bowl of ice cream or something like that, and then they're sitting there watching you eat it and decide they want some of your ice cream, even though you offered to make them some ice cream. They didn't want any. I don't even warm up my leftovers most times. Yeah, I don't either. And then Amanda says I'm eating like a hobo sometimes. Whenever like spaghetti, I like it better like cold, leftover and cold. Like I like spaghetti cold and leftover. Certain things I actually like better cold than hot. As a leftover. For some reason, I don't necessarily like it that way the first go around, but as a leftover, I like it that way. Mayo. Oh, turkey sandwich with Terry asked turkey sandwich with mayo or mustard is the question that he asked. And then Lexi and Sully both said mayo. I'm actually a Miracle Whip person. I like mayonnaise too. Like I'll eat mayonnaise. Like I like Duke's mayonnaise. It's pretty good. But I like Miracle Whip better than the mayonnaise. And then Jeff said cranberry sauce. You put cranberry sauce on it. In this case of the turkey sandwich from leftover Thanksgiving, yes. Now, if it's just a turkey sandwich throughout the year and you don't have leftover cranberry sauce out of the can, then that's whenever I go Miracle Whip. Spaghetti sandwich. Got to make some gobbleritos with the leftovers topped with cranberry mayo. Leftover pizza cold is the boss. Yeah, I eat my pizza cold too. I like it too. Every time I get something out, like we'll have leftover Papa John's or whatever, I'll get the box out and just start eating the pizza out of the box. Miss Maintenance to see me doing it, and she calls me a hobo. Miracle Whip all day. What's up, TPG? He's back. Miracle Whip is Texas mayonnaise. Yeah, during the peak of like summertime when you have garden tomatoes and Miracle Whip, I don't care what you put on that sandwich with the garden tomato and Miracle Whip. It's the best sandwich you've ever eaten. Lebanon Balog Lebanon bologna, American cheese, and Miracle Whip. I don't know what Lebanon bologna is, but I like some Oscar Mayer bologna. But there is a bologna. Kroger has some sort of bologna in their deli that I couldn't tell you what it is, but somebody went and bought it at the we had a camp thing, and they bought a bunch of lunch meat and brought it to it, and one of them was beef bologna from, I know it was some kind of German name. I don't remember what it was called though, but it was crazy good bologna. It was really good. Yeah, you get bologna, garden tomato, Miracle Whip, and the best bread out of a package, like at a store, is the Sunbeam bread. If you're eating that kind of bread, Sunbeam bread, bologna, garden tomato, Miracle Whip. Fried bologna and onions is awesome. Yeah, Amanda likes the bologna fried better too. I like it just the regular. I don't mind it fried, but I like it normal temperature, not hot. Captain John Durst, Captain John Durst potato bread is very good. Yeah, I like potato bread is not bad. I don't mind potato bread. Um, Miss Maintenance has been buying some kind of brand of honey oat bread or something like that. It's pretty good. She likes that and sourdough or something like that. Fried bologna, eggs, and gravy. See, I'm trying to get y'all all hungry again so you'll eat your leftovers. Talking about all this stuff. Like I said, we do in a sense two Thanksgivings, 2 days in a row. Which back whenever we first got married, and we'd go to sometimes three Thanksgivings in one day type of thing. And then you can't not eat at each one of them because they pretty much make you eat. You're like, even if you just got there and you're like, look, I just ate at this last place. I'm not hungry whatsoever. It's like, no, you're eating again. I think Lebanon bologna was started by the Amish in Pennsylvania. Oswald's bread was my favorite as a kid, baked right in Baltimore where I lived. No bread after Christmas, Miss Maintenance says. Well, the nice thing is Little Debbie's peanut butter cream pies don't have any bread in them. Mm-mm-mm. The best way to have a sandwich, in all honesty, is Mike's Way at Jersey Mike's. I like that olive oil and vinegar or whatever it is they put on their sandwiches with the mayonnaise. Like I like to have both of those, like not just the sauce at Jersey Mike's, but whatever the sauce is plus mayonnaise. I every time I eat there, I always get the club with bacon and then Mike's Way. No carbs after Christmas. Well, luckily my truck's got full fuel injection. What's up, Tools and Tactics? Just dropping by to hit that like button. Appreciate it, buddy. Bread ain't bad. Calories in, calories out. Is Roman meal wheat bread still around? My grandma used to buy that all the time. Now, I've never heard of that. We always, my favorite was always Sunbeam, and I haven't had Sunbeam in a long time. It could be totally different now, but I know whenever I was a kid, like it was always the softest of all of them. I always liked it the most, but we don't eat a lot. We actually don't eat very much like sliced bread now. Like if we ever eat sandwiches and stuff, it's typically out somewhere like a Jersey Mike's or something like that. Amanda equals Grinch. See, they're turning on you. I used to love Hawaiian sliders after Thanksgiving with ham and Swiss cheese, but haven't had them in years because of gluten. Yeah, there's always been, I don't think we've ever made them, but there's always been some people at different potlucks and stuff like that that make those. They're pretty good. I do like those too. I want the new hex socket Klein mod box, Klein Tools long hex bit socket set, SAE and metric 16. New hex socket set. Oh yeah, I got you. The like Allen keys in the sockets type thing. Tinkering around with the new Klein insulated screwdriver bits fit my Weehaw torque screwdriver. Yeah, I saw that Project Pine Hills had that one. Like a lot of people were asking me, and I didn't have that Weehaw that takes the actual slim bits. I think he said the Weehaw bits don't fit in the Klein, but the Klein bits fit in the Weehaw. Miss Maintenance says she has to keep me alive. She doesn't even know the password for Netflix without me. Yeah, anytime there's anything like I have a computer that I have like tons of movies and just different, like all the King of Queen episodes, all of different TV shows that we watch on a computer. And I've got it hooked up through the network to all our TVs so we can basically watch any of them shows anytime we want to and go to whatever episode. And but it messes up, like you have to reset the app every now and then. It does different things just because of something. I'm not real sure what. But then also that computer is so old. It's a really old computer, and I've got like just basically all I use it for is just a network kind of interface type thing to get all that stuff to go to other TVs. And if the power ever goes out, it's old enough that the internal battery in that computer doesn't keep the time or the date or anything like that. So then I have to get into the settings of that computer and set the time and date, or else it won't boot up. So every time the power goes off or anything like that, she'd be losing like 90% of what we watch on the TV. If I wasn't around, she wouldn't be able to figure that out. When I was a kid, all we ever had was homemade bread. If we got store bought bread, it was a rarity. What's up, trendy stylist? Trending stylist. Spiral ham soaked in pineapple juice overnight is a lot like honey baked. Yeah, I like ham. I don't. I like turkey too. Most of the people in my family would just as soon have ham instead of turkey. But I kind of, if there's certain times where the turkey's good and there's certain times where it's not. Now that smoked turkey that they had today was really good. It was pretty good. That battery is probably a lithium coil cell. Yeah, I haven't even attempted to open it up to see because I basically just go into the settings and just set the date and time every time. It's super old computer. I want to say it's even running like what Windows is it? XP or something like that. That's on that computer, maybe Windows XP. I say I use it. I've got a external hard drive with all that stuff I talked about on it, and I just got it plugged in, and then I'm using it to plug into the network. But I might need to change out that battery in case I do die, so that Miss Maintenance will still be able to watch all the shows. Yeah, Jeff Bowery sent a picture of because Big Red's my favorite drink, but he sent a picture of a Big Red glazed ham and turkey. They look pretty good. I love King of Queens. That's in our top 5 shows: Friends, Big Bang Theory, The Office, King of Queens, Breaking Bad, Dexter, Parenthood, with the guy from Coach. Yeah, we watch King of Queens a lot. That's probably my most watched show is King of Queens. And then The Office we watch quite a bit of. Let's see, what else we got on there? Parks and Rec we watch a lot of. These are kind of that. Friends is one of them. Like those are the ones like we turn on at night while we're laying in bed to go to sleep, uh, type things. And then I also have Everybody Loves Raymond, According to Jim. I've got all the episodes of all those. Uh, Till Death. That's got some funny stuff in it too. The Till Death. That's got the big guy, like the brother Robert from Everybody Loves Raymond. Kevin Can Wait. Did I watch that? I watched some of it. I don't know if I ever watched all of it or not. Like we were watching that whenever it was on. Like that was back in the time when I had a TiVo and we were recording stuff and watching it that way. Uh, I don't know if we caught every episode or not of that. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Mac. What is this you talk about? Shows. If it isn't on YouTube, I haven't watched it in almost 2 years. Most of the time, I'm watching YouTube, like in the living room area if we're watching TV and she's doing work or not wanting to watch anything. We're watching YouTube. I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching tool videos or somebody doing work of some sort, whether it's Perkins Building Brothers, the Handyman Experience, R&R Buildings, that kind of stuff, Awesome Framers, or I'm just watching tool videos, or that's how I also watch like first things first, like sports stuff, because I don't have ESPN or anything like that. Or we're watching right now, it's a marathon of the classic Christmas romance movies on Netflix or Prime right now that are all on there. That they're all the same exact movie with different people, like the Hallmark type stuff, where you've got the woman's coming from the big city back home and she's got this fiance that's pretty mean to her, not really nice, and they get in a fight. But then this girl meets her boyfriend from high school and they fall in love while she's there at Christmas time. And then something happens. There was some misunderstanding that causes them to hate each other for 20 minutes. And then they come to realize it was a misunderstanding. And then they love each other and they go off and get married. She leaves the fiance from the big city. That movie basically over and over again with different actors and a different plot, but it's the same exact movie. Miss Maintenance likes to watch a lot of those right now, so that's what we're watching. So it's either that or we're watching the shows where people kill each other, like a husband killed a wife or whatever. What's your thoughts on the tools Klein makes, especially the plumbing ones? So I haven't bought any of like the pipe wrenches or the tubing cutters or any of those things. I think really the only plumbing section tools of theirs I have bought is the little small pocket screwdriver that's supposed to be for plumbing or whatever. That's the one that I keep in my vest. I really like that one. And then the uh, pliers wrench they sell over in the plumbing section. I personally feel like the Toolant, Knipex, it's the price. You know, if you want to pay $25 for one instead of $60 for one, it performs plenty well, in my opinion, for $25 for what it is. If you get like the 7 1/4 size, that's what I was telling Blood Song Tool Reviews in a comment the other day. You know, if you're going to get a 10-inch pliers wrench or something where you're really going to be like, I mean, cranking on something or doing whatever, then yeah, it might factor in what kind of steel it's made out of and all that kind of stuff like that. But the 7 1/4 size that I use, I'm really not ever like crazy torque and stuff or like, I mean, breaking free. It's usually supply lines and, you know, stuff like that. That's not too awful bad. I can't imagine you're ever really going to have a problem with yours. I've had pretty good luck with Klein stuff like over the course of my whole entire career. Like there's not many tools of theirs where I'm just like, this isn't worth it. Now, are there other tools in certain that same exact footprint that may be better from like a Knipex or you know, this or that? Yeah, there is that. That's the case with every brand of tools. But for the most part, for the price that Klein is, I think it's always usually a pretty good deal. Seinfeld, we do watch Seinfeld Sizzle Neck. That's one we watch too. We actually just kind of started. We watched it a long time ago, and that's one. Like I said, these are all shows we put on late at night. We're lying in bed, not wanting to be really interested per se in whatever is on the show. It's more just we're going to sleep, and I can't watch shows like I mentioned in a live before. Like whenever 24 was on Netflix or whatever it was, whenever I watched it, like if I watch a show like that when I'm trying to go to sleep, but it's something that keeps me like, ooh, I got to know what's going on here. I'll stay up all night. So I don't watch shows like that when we're going to bed. Max said, anybody else get the flex deals? I haven't got any. Chad's of Christmas Pass said he thinks he's got like $400 worth of them on sale. Forensic Files, some trucking channels, some woodworking channels, farming channels, tool channels. Tom said, yeah, we watch a few. Like I've started watching the Scout, where he's got the house on the island, him and his wife, and she's pregnant now. We started watching them. They come out. I think they normally put out an episode on Sundays. Columbo, Quincy, ME, stuff like that. I can't even find my TV remote. I only watch YouTube. See, you watch yours on your phone or something, I guess. See, whenever I watch YouTube, I almost always watch it on my TV because I just don't. That's why it's very rare. Like I watch a lot of people's videos and I comment on some if I'm so happen to be watching it on my phone or I've got my phone on me while I'm watching it on TV. Sometimes I'll open up my app and go comment on something, but I watch a ton of stuff that I never comment on. Jonas Brothers Christmas movie. We haven't seen that one. I don't know if luckily Miss Maintenance does watch some of those. Like when she gets home from work earlier than me, like she'll go ahead and watch one. So then I get to miss out on that one. But I don't know if she's watched the Jonas Brothers Christmas, but I haven't. I was once on a business dinner and the lady next to me said she couldn't wait to get back to the hotel to watch a certain Hallmark movie. Jokingly, I asked if the woman was a lawyer or a doctor, and the woman confirmed she was a lawyer in that one. That or the newest thing is somebody's running a bakery or something like that. There's a lot of them where the bakery is involved in some form or fashion. Love Hard is a cute Netflix Christmas movie. Good acting, good storyline, funny and heartwarming. Now that one's a little bit different. Yeah. It's still the same story, but it was a little bit different of a movie. And the acting was a lot, but like that's the other side of that is a lot of those movies, the acting is very like like fake-ish type thing. I bought the basin wrench, like the rigid. My favorite all-time show ever is Morgan's Maintenance. There you go. Die Hard is the best Christmas movie. That usually starts a talk. Scrooged with Bill Murray. Yeah, I think I haven't watched that like in a long time, like since and I think I started watching it maybe last year. So the main Christmas movies we watch every year is Home Alone, Home Alone 2. Like I love both of those. Um, the Grinch with Jim Carrey, Elf, National Lampoon's Christmas. We watch that one every year. Those are the only ones coming to my mind right now. Those are all ones we watch with our kids all the time, so it's kind of a thing where we watch all those. I had some Klein electrician screwdrivers where the tips rusted in less than a year. Everything else is great. One of my favorite movies is The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption, then the Smokey and the Bandit movies. I have watched The Green Mile. I mean, I've watched all those, but I haven't watched. I think we watched the Shawshank Redemption not too long ago, but it's been a long time since I've watched The Green Mile. If I'm being honest, I tried the Klein tubing cutters. There's a reason there isn't a video, is all I'm going to say. Yeah, I don't have any. I've got a pair of Husky tubing cutters, so I don't know. I don't really have a big fancy pair of tubing cutters, anyways. So I don't know what the big difference would be. But I also don't use them very much. Whatever happened to Carrie's sister and Doug's dog? They both disappeared. LOL. You watch it on your computer. I watch a lot of tool channels, car detailing channels, and anything involving World War II. NCIS Origins. Yeah, we watch. One of my sons really liked Bones. So we watched that a lot, and then there was like House. We watched all that. Then all the CSIs, but the main CSI I remember watching the most was the one, was it Miami, where it was like, yeah, like at the very beginning of it, and then what's it, Horatio or something or other with his glasses. On the intro was always just comical. We kind of made fun of that. That was one of the things that we did. Uh, that was one of the main CSIs that we watched. Usually the woman is a lawyer, doctor, or high-powered professional, and the guy is a handyman, carpenter, or owns a small coffee shop or bakery. And there has to be a gazebo someplace. A Christmas Story with Ralphie. I don't watch that one every year. We watch it from time to time. My top two Christmas movies is A Christmas Story and A Wonderful Life. Charlie Brown Christmas. Mom always watched that. I started watching, and I don't remember really watching it much. I started watching The Muppet Christmas this morning. We had the grandbaby here this morning, so I was just looking for something to put on. And I was watching the beginning of it. I think I've seen it before, but I don't really remember it. And I didn't watch all of it because we left, but Jeff, Erica and I went to the Christmas Story house when we was in Cleveland years ago. So we recently were in Boston, and we went and saw we went to Salem, and then we went to where the was it Hocus Pocus house, I guess it is, one of the houses that's in Hocus Pocus. We went and saw that. And then we also, while we were in New York, we went and saw it's not really the friend's apartment, but whenever they show the outside of it, the picture, that one. What's up, Elliot? Missed the chat. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you did too, buddy. Amanda would like the show Snapped. You too, Sizzleneck. CSI Miami. Yeah, that was the one with Horatio. That, like I said, we watched other CSIs, but that was the one I remember watching the most. And then NYPD Blue, like that was a show that we watched for a little while. Santa Clauses with Tim Allen. What are the Black Friday deals to look for tomorrow? Only one I know of that when again, I don't know it. I just have seen posts about it on Facebook. Is the M12 subcompact. I think Home Depot is going to have that in a kit with some batteries and stuff for like $149. And then I think I'm sure there's going to be ladders and stuff like that at Home Depot and Lowe's. But other than that, I don't know. I did get an email from Vito Pro Pack, which again, it wasn't an email like it was to me, Morgan's Maintenance or anything. It was just to me because I buy Vito bags from them. So I'm sure if anybody else buys Vito bags, you probably got the same email saying to make sure and watch your email box tomorrow because I guess they're going to do some kind of Black Friday thing too. I'm sure it's still not going to be as good a deal as a spring promotion, but Jeff is a serial killer on Snapped. I'm in a book, but have never been on TV, news, or otherwise. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, so I've been on the news locally a few different times for different stuff. And then I was in a episode of Call of the Wild Man. I don't remember what the episode was now. I looked it up and made a post about it. But that was the Turtle Man. Like the name of the show was called The Wild Man. I think it came on. I don't remember if it came on Discovery or what that show came on. But I was on that. Christmas with the Cranks. Yeah, that's one of them that we watch most years. Dexter's way better than CSI. Do people even camp out at stores pre Black Fridays anymore? So I don't think a lot of stores really do that kind of stuff anymore. Like I don't go to any of them, so I don't know. Like Best Buy used to always be a big thing. Like people would camp out there for some sort of TV or whatever else and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, most stores I know of, even based on just seeing ads, it seems like they're doing like a 2-week, 3-week Black Friday thing. And again, they might have some doorbusters, but they're usually not something like crazy. Anyone on Cops? Not that I know of. Or anybody on America's Most Wanted. I got a set of Bora speed sawhorses for $100 on Amazon. Yeah, Elliot, I just saw your email a little bit ago on that. So there's some Bora sawhorses. Those are more like the bigger type, not like the Craftsman and the Stanley, but they're on sale. But then they also have a $30 coupon, so you get a set for like $100. I've got a bunch of 11% money I'm going to spend tomorrow. Yeah, I'm still waiting on, I got my biggest rebate card in the mail from Menards, but I'm still got 2 more that should be coming that I mailed off different times. Matt knows the episode you were in. Yeah, I looked up the season and it's something called something, the episode something called something with Kitty in it, and I can't remember what the name of the episode is. I was on the front page of the New York Times, described as chubby. This was when I was in the Army and 40 pounds lighter than I am now. We used our sawhorses today cutting wood for a frame. Yeah, somebody mentioned that the Craftsman ones were on sale for $15 on Amazon. The ones that I like, I've got a set of them, I think over. Yeah, I've got a set over there. If you can get a set of those for $30, that's a pretty good deal. But we'll just have to see what Black Friday brings us. I don't do any, like I said, I think everything that I'd be getting is already known because I'm not going to the stores. So I don't care how many views a video might get of me being somewhere at Black Friday. I'm not doing it. I got the Vito MCT special ops this morning. Acme had a coupon for today. Nice. The Waltz hydraulic tool on sale for $139 at Fasteners with no sales tax. I know that Tech Tool Supply, I think that's the name of the place. They sent me a coupon of $25 off anything that's 100 or something, that's pretty good amount off for just having that $100 threshold. And it is only valid like tomorrow. I absolutely love my Stanley sawhorses that hook together. Yeah, I very rarely, I've got multiple of bigger sawhorses and I hardly ever use them anymore. I've got some set up down there in the garage down there with stuff on it just because I set them up down there because I knew I was going to leave them kind of down there for a while I was doing the garage. But other than that, like for work purposes, I never hardly take my big ones anymore. Cat won't stay out of the Christmas tree. Anyone else? Lexi's going to watch Jeff on Snapped. Ohio Power Tool has $50 off anything in stock over 100 right after the tool show today. I bought the new M18 handheld blower. Yeah, 50 off 100. That's pretty good. Which usually the tool show has that deal where like it's only X amount, right? I think like say it's like to the first 50 people or whatever it is. I don't remember what the number normally is. Yeah, this is the first Christmas, I guess, with our cat that we've got now. Our cat that passed away, uh, she never messed with any of that stuff. She didn't mess with anything. I want the TP LDP. Well, maybe your email tomorrow will be like, buy an MP pouch, you get a TP LDP for free. He's the cat in my profile picture. We bought a tree this year from Hobby Lobby. It's fluff free. It was nice to put up and decorate it. Yeah, I know she's wanting a different tree. She says ours is too big. Well, it's not that it's too big, like it's obnoxious. It's too big that she's tired of messing with getting it in and out because we don't normally take ours apart. We just take it straight out the back door and stand it up in the building in the back and just leave it like up and put a bag over it. I want the Vito tote bag, the smaller one. Yeah, I'm interested just to see what the deal is. I'm sure it's just going to be like a percentage off, or because normally well, I don't know. See, sometimes I buy stuff from them and it's free shipping, and then sometimes I've had to pay shipping. The Vito stuff has always been weird whenever I bought it because like because sometimes when you order stuff online, you pay tax and sometimes you don't. It just depends on like if you live in the state where they're selling it from type thing and all that kind of stuff. Like sometimes I've had to pay tax at Vito and sometimes I haven't. And then sometimes I've had to pay shipping at Vito and sometimes I haven't. I've had it all shipped to the same address from the same place. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. What's up, Ted? Mm-mm-mm. So if anybody comes in super late and you want to know about those Klein sockets, you just got to watch the very beginning, like later on. I was at a hospital that had all the trees with bags over them. In one of their storage rooms, there's like 20 trees in there. I really want the Velocity Rogue 2.5 bucket bag in camo, but they don't have one in stock. Yeah, they had a. I really wanted to get a small bag that Velocity had, but it was like on sale. Like I think the normal price was closer to 200 normally, but they had it actually on sale for like 130 something. And like I said, if I hadn't have bought all that Klein stuff like 2 hours literally before I had Matt HMM and multiple people trying to talk me into buying a Velocity bag, uh, I didn't want to spend more money than I had to. And then that one bag that was like the MCT size, just thing was on sale for that free shipping range and getting the free mat and all that. So that's why I went with that. I might start carrying a bag. Ted Cook said it's going to be a big bag to carry around 3 tools in, Ted. Somebody said when hell freezes over. Or no, Ted said that. Last year, Home Depot had better deals on Cyber Monday. Let's see. Yeah, I've got a couple other things that I can make videos for that I haven't yet, but I haven't bought much for this whole Black Friday, uh, whatever you want to call it, sale that's been going on for weeks now. I haven't seen crazy good deals. I do need to go get me a set of spade bits. So me and my buddy have been working at a house installing a new front door, exterior front door, like a big, solid mahogany double door, and then redoing. It's like an inset porch area. We're redoing all the soffit and then took out all the lights, putting in can lights in her whole front house and the soffit. But then off to the side of her door, she didn't have anything. It was like white vinyl siding before it went to the brick. So she wanted to get rid of all the siding. We're putting up LP siding, and then she wanted 2 sconce lights up there and a new exterior plug so she could put these little trees next to her door. So I was like, yeah, we can do all that. So we started fishing. I started trying to fish the wire. The soffit lights was super easy, like just fishing through, but they had put in spray foam insulation. The whole entire attic's just solid spray foam insulation. So you can't really get to a lot of the stuff. But I started trying to fish stuff down that wall for those sconce lights and for that plug and for a switch on the inside of the wall. And man, that wall had everything in it. For one, I like the wall was up taller than the porch, so I had to go through a double top plate and then through a header that went across the whole entire porch area, and then go through another double top plate. And then as I got down into the wall, I was hitting diagonal bracing and cross bracing. We ended up just taking the sheathing off the outside to get to the wall part because we were going to be covering it up with new stuff anyways. And I was like tired of fighting it. But even to get down to that point, I had to go through a ton of stuff. And I went through every spade bit I had. I bent 2 of them in half, broke one off in the hole. So I got to buy a whole new spade bit set. It was about as bad as you can get for a fishing job. We finally got it. Need to get that 5 drawer set up. Yeah. Milwaukee had a good deal on floor tools and batteries with charger and case, $199 if you like that 12 volt, that is. I've been trying to figure out what a Jimmy Wiggler really is. I haven't seen that. Wish I could get my van in the shop. I need a deep clean bad. I worked my whole life to have a shop to work in, then I bought a van that won't fit in it, LOL. That's the way My truck did fit in here. I mean, it was super tight, but I could get it in here before I put my camper topper on there. Once I put the camper topper on there, it has like the little extensions for the ladders, like just that little amount. That's what keeps me from being able to put mine in here. And the only thing I don't like about my camper topper and having my ladders on the top is like used to, I paid for a monthly car wash and I passed by it every day on my way home. So I'd stop in multiple times a week and just run through the car wash. And so I never had to really hand wash my truck, just did it that way. And then they had the vacuums there. I just pull in, vacuum my truck out every day. Super easy to keep it clean that way. And now I can't go through any of those because I got the ladders on top. Honestly speaking, at Velocity, you don't have to spend the 200 to get the free shipping. Everything is free shipping. So they must have swapped that some, or maybe I misread that then. I really like driving the van in the shop. Well, Ted, you got a big old shop, but it is nice. Like especially even to unload and load stuff. Like if you have the ability, like how I work out of this, I load stuff and unload stuff in here all the time, but I can't fit my truck in here. So if it's winter time or raining or whatever, if you can pull your van into your shop, it would be super nice. Anyone bought a 5-gallon bucket seat top? I want one. Recommendations. I've never bought one. I've seen the one at Home Depot that's like the spinning bucket top thing. I've never bought one. I wonder if a hearse would make a good service van. If you could get one and set it up and then come up with some kind of tagline for your business that has something to do with that, some kind of handyman, but make it a tagline that you kill the competition, or something like that. Do you have the canvas mini bucket? Uh, I got that thing up there. Are you asking me or see if you're asking somebody else? I don't know. I've got this thing. I don't know if there's one smaller than this one. I got this whenever I went to Klein. They gave me that, but you can buy this too, though. They gave it to me while I was there. Walmart usually has them in the sporting goods section. I use them for dove hunting. Yeah, or like if you were a HVAC company and you drove a hearse, you could be like, is your unit dead? We could bring it back to life or do something. I don't know. Something along, you'd have to think of whatever it was that works with your business. If you could get it something, or even like an ambulance, like somebody just said. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty sure Clint, I think they sell, I haven't seen them anywhere in stores, but I think you can get it on Amazon. This one's the part number. So, for size, because I think they got bigger ones too. I think I found the part number on it. Let's see. Yeah, it's 5104 mini. So 5104 MINI is the part number on this size. Because I think they got some bigger ones. Rode in ambulances for many years. No thank you as a service truck. Well, I guess I'll get off here and get inside again. If you came in late to see because I did this as a live review, and I didn't expect there to be very many people, but like I said, there's actually more people, but it might be that there's less people doing live, so there's more people. Uh, I did all that at the very beginning, tried to do it all before I started even looking at questions, so that if somebody specifically was wanting to know about that socket set, hopefully all that information of what you're looking for is at the very beginning. But you can check that out after this is up. Homely just got home from the in-laws. that's where I went today. I was going to say that's where we went today, but I guess it was not Miss Maintenance, but that's where we went today. I'm gonna go inside and see if I can eat my leftovers if Miss Maintenance hadn't ate them already. She's probably already been in there knocking them out. But hopefully y'all had a happy Thanksgiving if you've already celebrated with your family, if you do celebrate it, and if you're in the middle of it, hopefully you continue to have one. And then everybody have a good Black Friday tomorrow. And prayers go out to those of you who are braving the stores. Although again, I don't think it's as bad as what it used to be, but it's still too peoply for me. I'm definitely not doing it. If there's deals online, I'll find stuff sometimes and order stuff, but for the most part, I don't mess with it. But we'll see y'all on the next one. There is a guest of trade already uploaded for Saturday, so maybe I'll see some of you Saturday in the chat. So we'll see y'all on the next one. Appreciate everybody being in here.